Yes, top man. I salute
Yes,
you, top
blessing.
man. Top man, I salute you.
Yeah, I take your salute. How are you, man? Thanks for having me.
How you doing, sir?
I'm doing fantastic, man. You know, greetings to your cherished listeners in UK and across the globe.
Oh, right. It's always good to have you, you know.
Yeah.
So, first of all, I'd like to say thank you very much for availing yourself for this interview because the likes of you are very hard, you know, to grab, but at least for giving us the opportunity to come on the UK radio stations. We really appreciate you. Thank you very much, sir.
I appreciate. I mean, to get a hold of us. You know, especially in this era where we're mostly at home. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'm just on the road today. That's why.
All right. First of all, I mean, I, for one, I know Heavy D very well. At least we've been buddies for years, and you admit that. Um,
Yeah.
the rationale behind this interview is to actually get to know who Heavy D is really is, and I know that the lines, the signal is playing up a little bit. I mean, but we'll try to manage and then get the best of the, you know, the Zoom. Um, yes, like I said, thank God you're back again. What I want to know was, you know, like I said, I mean, we've been around for years when we're doing stuff, but who is Heavy D? Who is Heavy D that we've known, you know, for all these years, who was rocking on our radio like nobody's business? Who is Heavy D for the sake of this particular generation?
Well, I mean, started out somebody who was inspired by creativity of some of the great legends like David Roddick, and of course from the UK. And I'm from a creative musical family as well, so
Mm,
I just had the interest of being on radio. But then there was no private radio at the time,
right.
so we used to go out and mimic other singers on stage, and uh, DJ in the
Mm,
clubs, and hosting programs here and there. And then I got an opportunity to meet with Ivan Kwashiga,
right.
who gave me a chance. Then Joy FM had just started, so he recommended me, and then they tried me, and that was it. That's where it all started, basically.
Wow, wow. Now, there's something a lot of people don't know. A lot of people don't know that you don't only do radio. When it comes to MCing, when it comes to like the early days, people who could rap, you know, Dito as if they created some of the music they sang along. You know, you explore in all of those areas. Have you,
Mm.
you know, does people know that, especially those in Ghana? Do they know you were doing all these as well, apart from the MC, the rap, the radio, and all that?
No, they really don't. Not, a lot of people don't know, but we have done a lot of work, even featured on several albums, like Achame, Shashamali's album. I was part of the people who was not actually directly producing it, but I was part of the people who was behind Mitsuhima Ekomaika's album. We started out with Zap Mallet at CHM Studios. So we've done quite some work, even in the area of music production,
Mm.
rapping, and so on and so forth. It's just, I mean, my love for creativity. Many don't know about this, but those who know know.
Oh, right. A few like Poncho, Samson Queno, who is in US, Tommy
Right,
Annan
right.
Forson, quite a few early days, those who put us through the best ethics of radio, KKD and the rest of that. They all get a bit gutted with the style of radio presentation lately. And I know you're part as well. Do you look at it with some sort of whimsical eye with the radio, how the face of it has changed?
If you can elaborate on that a bit, that's a bit of a complex question. If you can simplify it for me, I'll be able to,
Okay,
you
so
know.
put it this way. Now, radio, including its ethics, have actually changed from, the
Mm,
professionalism or whatever you want to name it. And the likes
mm,
of the
right,
people I outlined, like Tommy, KKD, Samson
right, right,
Queno, Poncho, and all that. I believe you're part of those guys who think, look, radio
mm,
is no longer as it is anymore.
mm. Yeah, it's no longer as it is anymore. It's lost that touch of creativity. In majority, many of the new radio, I'll say broadcasters or presenters or DJs, are a bit, you know, um, I would say there's so many ways I can describe some of them. I would say they don't pay attention to detail. Number one. Number two,
Mm,
most of them don't understand that it is the theater of the mind.
mm,
And so you have to be able to tell a story and let somebody picture the story in their mind.
yeah.
So they just go out there, sit behind the microphone, and start screaming, yeah. And thirdly, majority of them also simply do it for the hype. We did it because
Mm,
we were born to do it and we love what we do. And besides that, we were willing to learn from the greats, like you mentioned, the
yeah.
Ponchos, the KKDs, the Tommy and Forsons. I was actually trained by Tommy and Forson hands on. And Poncho is the one who gave me my first break. And of course, KKD, we all looked up to him because we grew up in Tama and it was a Tama thing for us back in the day. So yeah, we
Mm,
we we were willing to learn. And also, one very important thing is that I believe that if you want to be great, you have to celebrate greatness. They don't know how to celebrate legends. That's one of the biggest problems. This mentality of Utame Trim, and I think that that's what's killing the fabric of originality and creativity. And they don't want to learn. You ask somebody today, even if they know who Tommy and the Fortune is, and they don't have a clue, and yet
yeah.
they say they're on radio in Ghana. You ask somebody today, even let's come to the music. You
Yeah.
ask somebody about, give me three reggae musicians, and they will tell you Bob Marley, Lucky Dube, and Alpha Blondie. You mentioned Steel Pulse, they're confused. You mentioned Maxi Priest, they don't even know who he is. But then you sing the song close to you, I don't know. And then you find out that you know they
Yeah.
have no clue. They're just doing it because they want to be there. I've had several people that approach me to say, "Oh, train me, train me, train me."
Yes.
The training is not the issue, but paying attention to detail is the issue. I mean, I admire some of them really. Like one person I really admire is Ben Avli. You
Mm.
know, yeah, yeah. He has a very unique style and he's well informed. And a few of them. Of course, our very own, brother, Sefaka is somebody who's really,
Yeah.
has really, yeah, he's really, proved himself that, yeah, he's an icon, definitely an icon.
Yes. Right. Thank you very much for that. But let's look at how you got into radio. Probably from school days, you must have been rapping and all that. Your interest in entertainment, I'm sure that led you to that. But let's get into how you got into the mainstream of radio, where you were behind the microphone and all that. How was your childhood like anyway? Were you adventurous or were you as calm as you are today?
I mean, I was always the calm, cool type. I looked at creativity as being a lifestyle and not an act.
Mm,
So to me, it was part of my life. It wasn't something that was different from me. There are
okay.
times that you separate the personality from the person. But in my case, it has never been so. What you see is what you get.
Yeah.
So from childhood days, I've always been that person who I love to sing, get on stage, and even from what they used to call the homo's night. I did this song, musical youth. Don't blame the youth.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I started when I was very very young.
Wow.
I'm from a musical family, an artistic family, music and art, basically. So it's always been in me. I look at it as a lifestyle, so it's nothing new. But my first break was really at Parfum 90.
Right.
You know, yes. And it was this man who we had a group in Tema called New Faces
Mm.
because I had this love for music and stage and creativity. We had a group in Tema called New Faces. What we
Okay.
did was that every year we put together a show, and then you come and sing a song from your favorite artist, and so on and so forth. And then it caught the attention of the late great Joe Mensa.
Okay.
And yeah, so Joe Mensa picked me up from that group, a few of us, trained us some more, give us some more, pep talk, and put us on Perform 90, the stage.
Right.
So it was that stage that gave me the first break on stage. I've never been a shy person on stage,
Mm.
so I never had a problem getting on stage to in front of a crowd. Because my dad actually was a communications person in the Navy, and he always gave us that opportunity to stand in front of people to speak. So we had that confidence growing up. And then, so after that, Perform 90, then we had Parafest 92. I performed alongside David Kwamina Bolton. Then G-Man, that was before his
Mm.
issue. G-Man, then we had Public Enemy. So the whole thing started in 1990, Perform 90, after school, after Okaman Secondary School.
Wow. Wow. Okay. So now, as we finish with the journey of your childhood to where you got the opportunity to sit behind the mic, how was the feelings like? And then what radio station did that start from? Did you start from?
Oh, Joy 99.7 FM. It was Joy FM, actually, that gave me the opportunity in 1995. Right, 1995 when they first started. And at that time, I used to do reggae vibes on Saturday. And then I used to have a program with Tommy and a person called A Gift of Song.
Mm.
Actually, the first day behind the console, it was a bit shaky that day. I remember very well that Tommy was saying that, "Oh, I hear you DJ in nightclub." No, this is not the nightclub. This is radio, you
Yeah.
know. And then
Yeah.
by by the second, the third day, I was good to go.
Wow.
I was good to go. It was fun, really, at the time. And the one thing that Tommy actually taught me, Tommy and Forsen actually taught me was the fact that we could be the best of friends, but
Okay.
if I have to discipline you, I'll discipline you. I remember I was late. I was 5 minutes late
Yeah.
for a show that me and him used to host. Immediately he came out the studio. He said, "Wait for me." Typed out a suspension letter and suspended me for 2 weeks off air.
Mm.
Yeah,
Wow. Okay. So
immediately.
yeah. So initially when you sat behind the mic, at least how was the feelings like? Like finally, I caught up with my dream. I've caught up with my dream, and I've started the journey. How was it like?
Well, it wasn't an exciting feeling, but it was more of a feeling of I was surprised myself. I didn't expect it to be that easy because there were about 29 people that day
Hmm.
who came for the audition.
All right.
So it wasn't an excitement. It was more of surprise. Shocked. Like, okay, is this really me?
Yeah.
I'm ready to go. We already were on stage for about 5 years. We already been in clubs and hyping up clubs and emceeing shows here and there. So it was more like just pretty much uh, transferring that same energy, but on radio. But the
Yeah.
difference is that in this case, you're not looking at a crowd, you're talking to yourself,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
And that's what made it weird in the beginning. Okay. It was
Yeah.
weird, like, okay, I'm like confused over here. Am I talking to myself? But
Yeah.
then putting the headphone on your ear and being able to hear the playback, that was what gave me inspiration. Then I
Mm.
started to flow. But Tommy was a great influence though, because he actually taught me how to be confident from the beginning. So it wasn't that tough after the first week. Yeah. But the first day feeling was kind of like, okay, I'm shocked. Am I really here? Let me pinch myself. You know, I'm happy, I'm excited. I want to be at that time we had the feeling that everybody was gonna like us out there when you're on air. So I was just excited. I was just shocked, sorry, surprised.
Right. So what we're talking about must have been 25 to almost coming up to 3 decades. That's about 30 years ago. Because what are we talking about? It's a
Yeah,
really long time ago.
yeah,
From then
definitely.
till now, what are you seeing? You think radio is doing well generally in Ghana, or holistically, you think radio is doing well? You think, as far as I'm concerned, like I've always been saying years ago, apart from the proliferation of it, where we've had several radio stations, there's this Control Me Radio, Tapoli Radio, and all the radio people established privately. What is
Mm.
your view over the radio work in Ghana?
Well, I think that radio is not generally, I mean, not every one of them, but generally, I don't think radio is being used effectively to actually transform people's lives in Ghana, or to motivate people in the right direction. In as much as laughter is the best medicine, unnecessary laughter is unnecessary as well.
Mm,
So there are some things that we laugh at, which genuinely needs to be laughed at.
mm.
And there's some serious issues that don't have to be laughed at.
Yeah.
And I'm also of the view, and this is a personal view, that, you know, the majority of the stations that speak the local languages, um, you know, are deceptive. Now, my reason why I'm saying they're deceptive is that the people who sit behind the consoles are not trained to understand English language well before they translate into the local languages. So when they hear something, they use only their understanding in the way they understand it locally and translate it. And some of the news that is received in English. And during the translation, they are very, very wrong and deceptive. And sometimes they joke with very sensitive matters. Unlike before, during the earlier days, GBC, and even now, if you don't speak the English that you're being reported to in very well, you cannot translate it properly into whatever language it is, whether it's Akan or
Mm.
Ewe or Ga or whatever language you're speaking. So I think that that should be looked at very, very carefully, because the deception and the unnecessary jokes, it goes a bit too far.
Okay. The reason I'm saying this is, those days when, you get corrected when you're trying to sing along the music, which is quite unprofessional. These days is there. I mean, people, as far as concerned, I believe that it's as a result of people own their own private radio stations, where people, it's not like the national institution like the GBC, where people
Mm,
are being conducted by special directives or how to go about
mm,
things. And so people are doing their own stuff. And so,
right.
we can look at it from that perspective, especially when you start from talking about the English thing. Before there wasn't vernacular, there wasn't tree, there wasn't, but this time it's all over the place. Probably the radio
Well,
is owned by somebody who has
well,
no idea at all about
well,
radio.
Well, let me just. That's the reason why there are governing bodies out there that you know are supposed to keep certain things in check. The fact that you're a private radio station doesn't mean that you should be deceptive. You know, there's certain things that develop a nation and certain things that do not develop a nation, especially when it comes to the youth.
Mm,
And what they are taking in, the information that they're taking in, is what's forming their opinion and their lifestyles. I mean, we can also argue that, okay, what about social media?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
a much bigger and a broader platform out there. Of course, you can do whatever you want to do out there. I'm speaking specifically about traditional radio.
Mm.
That's where I started from anyway. And something can be done about it in terms of what goes out there just to curb it a bit.
Mm.
At least if the person sitting behind the console has some kind of training and understands the ethics of radio, it can be curbed to an extent.
Right. Um,
Yeah.
so what how do you react to if you say things like this that Poncho once I was having a chat with Poncho Samson Queno and then he said he does hear things like listeners out there and he feels so gutted and he's like, what are you talking about? What are some of the things you hear today on the radio and you go like, Jesus Christ, what is this?
Well, the listeners are already out there, so you know, to say it is just like repeating something that's already there. It's like preaching to the choir. You know, I would say that what has really helped in the area of private radio and so many stations is the fact that our music is being promoted a lot more, these days. So
Yeah.
I think that's a plus, really. And it's helping some of the musicians also get recognition. So that I know definitely is a good thing out there. Except that lyrical content is also not checked like it used to be checked,
Yeah.
and that's also another thing where they need to have even in the United States. Come on now, I mean I've not stayed in the UK before. They have radio edits, so you know they just put out anything like that. But I think it's helping to promote the local artists as well.
Mm. Right. So at the moment, you're still doing radio. One or two must have come to you for mentorship to say that, Heavy D, I want to be a radio presenter. Well, like myself, I get a few. But do you often get that? Do you get people's interest in a radio as much as it was years ago?
Every single day. It doesn't even today. Today's Sunday. I had a call earlier on today. Every day, never stops. You know, and it makes me proud of the work we've done. But then again, also we're looking forward to having some type of institution where we can, or holding seminars and conferences to actually, impart some of this knowledge and experience into them. So yes, every day I get that.
Mm. Now, your friend Darlington has sent me a message. It's quite heartbreaking. According to Darlington,
Mm.
you are one of the not celebrated. All right, let me read it from what he's saying. I want to get it as quoted. Okay, so he said, iconic radio personality. He has not been celebrated enough, in my opinion. One of those who changed the face of radio in early days. You think you're not being given the celebration or the accolades you deserve with respect to the proximity of where you started till now?
Well, I would say first of all, I appreciate what Mark put out there. I would initially it kind of bothered me a bit, you know, because I felt that at least we had also paid our dues, and definitely, and I look at some of these people who, get the accolades and stuff. I don't know what criteria they use anyway, but majority of the people who sit on these panels have no clue what creativity is, and to and I say that without any reservation. They have no clue what creativity is, and if you look at I'm pretty much one of the most unscripted broadcasters you can in Ghana. Unscripted. I don't go in there with scripts and all kind of papers. I produce my own show to begin with. So um, now I really don't feel bad about it. No, I feel that I can celebrate myself because I can say that several people who meet me and they tell me, "Oh wow, you are the one who inspired me to do what I did. You are the one who inspired me. You are the one who inspired me." That alone is enough for me to know that.
Yeah, at least.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm celebrated. I don't need any awards to prove that I'm celebrated, but I do appreciate that. That comment from Mark Donington. Coming from him also, I really, really am highly honored.
Mm, right. So as I was talking about mentorship and people tripping to you to say, now you can tell the interest of this particular area of profession. Are you looking forward to establishing some sort of any institution to train people in the future?
You got it. That's exactly the direction that we're going now. We're going in that direction now to really get on the ground and begin to do stuff like that, and also, you know, publish a few books out there so people can actually get to read and understand the real me. And I would say that, you know, um, looking forward to a better year next year to begin some of these things. Yeah.
Mm. And
Yeah.
what about, um, so there's this thing about you. You have a lot of attention, and you grab the masses a lot. When
Mm.
it comes to your show, um, you must have interviewed a whole lot of people,
Yeah.
across the globe. If
Yeah.
I'm not exaggerating it, yeah. So any particular person whose interview you had with, and then you felt, wow, I really enjoyed this interview.
Well, wow. I would say that, wow, so many people. Ooh. Um, I enjoyed a few of them. I can't just say one.
Mm.
I would say I really must put this on record today that I was the first person to grant the late Ebony her first radio interview. Um, that was when I was at 3FM, and that was one of the most amazing interviews I ever had. Um, I would say one that was good also was my Maxi Priest. I interviewed Maxi Priest 3 times already, and then Brinsley Ford from Aswad. I did Michael Rose of Black Uhuru.
Mm.
Yeah. And then long ago, I did Opoya is now the president of
Oh wow,
Liberia.
I didn't know that.
Yes, yes.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, oh yes,
Wow.
Yes, I did Opoya long ago. Wow, so massive. I did woo, Selwyn Brown of Still Falls. I've done Third World. Um, Recently, I did Yasu Safari. A whole lot, a whole lot. I mean, but the one I enjoyed the most, the most,
Mm.
I was in Maxi Priest. Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Now, the very heavy D we know, who was, like you're saying, your youthful days, if you want to put it that way, the stage performances. I mean, together, we went to the Muslim on 1997, if you remember, when we had the controversial Benita Golomeke, who, became the winner of the event.
Right.
You sang, what's this song? Oh dear.
Welcome
Uh,
home.
what's that? Sorry.
Was it Welcome Home?
Um, no, no, no. I think it has this song. Oh, it was sung by Peter Andre. Peter Andre.
Okay. Was it the Mysterious Girl?
Yeah, the mysterious girl. And you see
Okay.
what fascinates, what I'm talking about is 1997. It's over 20 years
Right.
now. I mean, you sang it as if you composed the song, the composition, the composition. You emceed that with the now Akusiaponi, now Mrs. Essien, if you want.
Right. Right. Right.
Yes, with the Akusiaponi, and then I mean, it was a good time, man. It was. You don't do that anymore. You don't MC events anymore.
Well, I MC events. I still do MC events. A few events, yeah, exclusive events. Anyway, if I'm invited, yes, I do.
Oh, but are you saying you don't do it commercially as people do? I mean, I for one, I almost MC almost not less than
Oh
two
yeah,
weeks.
I
I've
mean,
got a show to
I
MC. Yeah.
see you around. I see you around. Yeah, you know, at a point, I kind of was losing interest in it, but because I spent more time in the studio recording voiceovers, and it was fun to me recording voiceovers in the studio.
Mm.
So I kind of like shied away from emceeing. But Yeah, I do every now and then if I'm invited to do it. Yes, definitely. Why not? And I'm looking to begin a few seminars as well in
Mm.
the area of leadership and motivation. So, yeah, I'm still doing my thing.
Oh, wow. And so how busy are you? The thing is, I've seen you interview musicians, people on a normal profile as to who they are, and you present normal programs as well. So how busy are you on
Hey,
the radio?
let me not forget though. I also interviewed Reggie and Bully.
Oh yeah, Reggie Amboli of the X Factor fame.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, exactly.
yeah. So are you packed on the radio as you were having a religious time on Joy FM as you were used to the drive time? You do like Monday to Friday thing, or is it some selective days? Yeah.
I'm doing Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday on Max 89.7
Mm,
in Accra. I'm currently doing the drive from 3 to 6 in the afternoon, and then 3 to 6 in the evening, and then I do the Reggae Cafe on Saturday evenings from 8:30 to 8 to 10:30
mm,
every Saturday evening. That's the current schedule.
mm,
So we're looking forward to making some changes early next year, but we haven't confirmed it yet. I want to get more of into the reggae belt so I can really secure some more events in Ghana as well. So yeah, we're going to be going into events as well next year. So we look forward to that.
mm. Now, when we were talking about Mark Darlington's message, where
Mm.
he gave the impression that, in fact, you're one of the iconic radio presenters Ghana has ever produced. But if you look at the criteria, which based on that they give maybe I'm not sure of that, but let's say he was the best. There was a time KOD complained about categories of the radio competition in Ghana. Somebody
Mm.
won the best, let's say, breakfast show, the best drive time, the best this and that. You can name them. If you look at the criteria, according to KOD, what exactly was it based on? What did they actually award it or accorded somebody some sort of that award? You look at the criteria in them sort of awarding all these radio personalities. You think it's good enough? You think is there any biasness it cause or any view of that?
Well, I mean, I
Sorry,
didn't
let
hear.
me before I go on. According to KOD, people thought because he did not get award for some reason or
Mm.
something, it was out of pain that he was saying that. I listened to that. I read the newspapers and all that and things that came out of that.
Mm.
But do you also think there's a foul play in dealing with the awarding radio personalities in Ghana?
Well, I can only cry foul play if I'm on the field or if I'm part of the referee, if I'm part of the referee team. But I don't think I don't think that they're biased. I don't think there's any bias. I just think that they don't have a clue about who is who. I don't know what criteria they work with. I'm not even moved by their criteria. But the thing is that just to put it out there, I commend them for the effort. They put into having this award every single year, back to back to back. I don't have anything against the award or the scheme or whatever it is. I just don't think they really have a clue about what radio really is. Television, I can't speak for television. But radio, I mean, they don't have the right people in place to really determine who's good at what. And I don't know what criteria to use, but given the opportunity to speak, I'm not speaking out of pain. I'm just speaking out of experience.
Mm. So these era we're talking about, uh, the way as far about 20 years ago, if I'm not lying, there were about 100 application facing the Ghana Media Commission, but then it was headed by Tim Makwa Hayford. I've said this on one of the interviews. Um, but then now, just Greater Accra, you have about more than 70 radio stations and all that. You think radio has provided some sort of employment as far as you're concerned?
Yeah, definitely. It has provided employment for a lot of people. And that's why I said that it has provided employment, but it has also brought in a bit of chaos, because I think at a point there should be a limit as to how many stations go out there. But then again, it's business,
Mm,
so you can't knock a man or a country for doing business.
yeah.
You know, yeah, you can't knock them for doing their business. They say that in the land of the blind, the one-eyed person is considered the king. So let's see the best out of the lot. Whoever is good at their marketing or the good programming, hey, let them go ahead and do what they have to do. The more the merrier too. So me, I don't think this whole thing. I was confused in the beginning why they had so many people, you know, with licenses having their stations, but the market is a bit choked,
Mm.
if I would say. Because now it's more difficult for you to, as a radio station, to go out there and get people to advertise. So it's mostly the individuals who already have their companies and their products out there who get their own frequencies to promote their own products. So that's why it's working for some people.
Radio, as far as I'm concerned, apart from the interest one has in it, has to do with passion. Apart from the fact that you want to, it comes with some sort of fame. All I'm trying to say, it's become another area where at least people pays on it for survival. Now people get in with the notion that I'm going to be known as a heavy D, or in future I'm going to be well known and I'm going to be all that. And so what I've realized is they refuse to look at what would give them that name that Gordon Agbanavo, he was here in GBC, Heavy D was this and here. But then the very fact that they will be known. And so don't concentrate on the very ethics that would make them, gain ground professionally.
Well, you see, it's okay to be famous, right? But what are you famous for? Or what do you want to be famous for?
Mm,
You know, they are famous armed robbers out there. There are famous thieves out there. It doesn't mean that they are famous in a good way. See, to be known is okay, but what are you being known for? They
yeah.
are only trying. They're only trying to be known. Some of us, if we are not really, I am. I can speak for myself. I'm not the type who is too keen on the fame thing. I'm just doing what I love doing,
Yeah.
and if through that people get to know me, so be it. But I should also make sure that what I've been able to achieve by how many people knowing me, I should be able to use what I have to impact them in a positive way. That's the difference. If it's just to be known, yeah, that's an ambitious person. I'm not ambitious. I'm a visionary, so ambition doesn't move me at all.
Mm. Right. So your journey, as far as I'm concerned, if you're not in the middle of your radio journey, you'll probably be coming to the latter part of it. In about 5 years, I mean, you've been around. What would Heavy Dude be? Are we going to be some radio school teacher? You're going to be, how are we going to see Heavy D? Are you going to hang your radio boots, or you be taking another avenue?
Well, once you love doing something, you're gonna keep on doing it. Except that you evolve into other aspects of radio, meaning that you can mentor people, you can train people, but it won't be the end of the road. It won't be hanging of boots or hanging of microphones. There's no such thing. We evolve into other aspects of radio. We can consult for companies. We can also direct several things can come out of it. Remind you that radio is only an aspect of me.
Mm,
So if I'm not doing radio, there's so many things that could be doing.
yeah.
Or maybe just travel to the Bahamas and stay there for a while.
Yeah. Right, Ebony. I think we're coming to the end of our
Mm.
program. First of all, like I said, we now that we just about to leave, you want to give us your final words and what do you have for your fans here in the
Well,
UK?
I would say that they should keep being themselves and just keep love alive. I mean, I appreciate you for giving me this opportunity on your platform. I salute all your listeners, all your fans, because they are your fans, and I am your fan too. I would like to humbly say I thank everybody who sent messages, those who listened. Mark Darlington, respect to you. every time, you know. And yeah, we look forward to a better life ahead of us. But for the most part, let's keep a positive mind and you know, say good things to each other and let's live. That's all it is.
Well, I've got more messages coming on Facebook. I mean, it looks like you have a lot of fans here in the UK.
Okay.
So I've got a message saying Heavy D was simply the radio itself.
Interesting. Right.
This is coming from Kwame in a suburb here called Streatham. He says Heavy D
Oh,
was the man who made it, got glued to the radio. If you have things like this, how do you feel?
that's the real award. That's what makes you feel good.
Yeah. Well, so
Yeah.
Magdalene continued to say that I think radio has lost its touch a bit. One of the problems in my personal opinion, is that the fact that there are many, is it? I can't see my eyes, man. Well, so he continues to say that Heavy D has been an astute writer, performer, and a recording artist. That is your link with music as well. Was there a point in time you wanted to sing, you wanted to produce, you wanted to get people like Zap?
Well, I produced several tracks. I even have unreleased so many unreleased songs.
Oh right.
Yeah. I had several collaborations that are sitting there. I'm just looking to release all of them next year. You know, I was just waiting for the right time. But yeah, I've been in music all my life, really. You know, in my spare time, I do music.
All right, thank you, sir. I would want to appreciate you very much for coming on my show, Dr. Morton Show, and much respect for taking us through and then paving way for the young generations who are also on the way coming in future Heavy D's. That's what we're going to say. Thank you very much, sir.
Thanks for having me, man. Have a wonderful. Next time you come on my show,
I will. No problem. I'm coming to Ghana, so I'll be coming on the show. Thank you very much, sir, and you have a good weekend.
Man. Okay.
Thank you very much. Wow, incredible.
You too.
All right, folks. So we're gonna go off with Heavy D, but what I'm gonna do is I think Heavy D's got a bit more time. My producer has just notified me that you still have about 5 minutes or so to go.
Okay.
Yes. So here in UK, people want to know when you're coming to visit us.
I'm planning on coming there like early next year, probably around March, April.
All right. So you were in US and then you went back home to Ghana.
Yeah.
So how long did you go to the United States for?
I was in the US for about 19 years.
Oh wow, that's a long time.
I know, right?
Do you look at still relocating to anywhere else? You're still going to be Ghana?
Well, relocating won't be the word to use. I'd say I go where I'm needed. You know, you go where you're celebrated. So
yes.
Yeah. If you need me in the UK, of course, I'll come to the UK. If you need me basically to impart some knowledge, I'll do that easily, you know. But yeah, we just have to go where you're celebrated and where you find peace.
Yeah. Wow. Right. So is there any way you're looking forward to establishing your own radio stations and then come on with
Ghana would definitely be the place. Ghana would definitely be the place so that we can actually reach out to them. There's so much talent in Ghana, it's unbelievable, you know. And what I see, many don't see. So maybe that's one area I would be tapping into because there's so many talented individuals in Ghana, both men and female, young ones out here. Yeah, both in the radio, TV, acting.
According to Magdalene, there are over 412 radio stations, about 360 commercial ones. That's a lot of radio stations in the country. 412 radio stations, and then you have 300. And you have 412 radio stations. They have 360 commercial ones. That's a lot of radio stations. But you see, there's always been this issue about getting a license, getting a license under carpets and all that. How true is that? That before one acquires a radio station, you must know somebody or you must have a strong link.
Yeah, you must know somebody, or you must know somebody who is selling their frequency. Many people have approached me to sell their frequency, but the prices they put on the table have been high. So I mean, hey, listen, push come to shove, we go digital.
And then with the radio, as far as I'm concerned, I think the radio has to, whoever establishes a radio station must have at least a fair idea or must be a media personnel or something. We don't see that anymore. Most of the people who open radio station today is either somebody who has no idea at all about radio, does business on its own, but maybe can influence or maybe would be able to acquire the license by some sort of the pocket means.
Yeah, it's all about money here, and you know, if you have a phone now, you can always call yourself a TV presenter. So that's what's going on now. you know, you know, but that touch is lost, and that's what is coming back to now. You know, it's a cycle. It's coming back to what it used to be, because the society and the world is yearning for originality and creativity, and that's what we're bringing back to the table. At least we don't have to lose that, you know, because we still have it in us. If we don't take charge of this generation, it's going to be completely lost.
Right. It's a shame, isn't it? I mean, it makes the very people who have what it takes to do radio rather stand by, and then it's being operated by people who, you know, have no, I don't know how to put it, but at least have no idea at all about radio. Anyway, I'm going to leave you now. And I want to say thank you very much once again, for being on the show. Thanks. You have the best of the weekend. Thank you very much.
Enjoy it too. Thanks.
Thank you. Oh dear. Okay, so that was my main man, Heavy D, who, you know, I had a chat with. I'm looking forward to bring in a few personnel as well. Sometimes I don't, you know, put this in the public eye simply because I want the interview to be some sort of a surprise, so that at least whoever I bring on the show would you less, or you will at least imagine I was going to bring the person. What it is this interview is all about people that we have known over the years, but as to whether we know them beyond who they are is the reason why I try to bring this one. This kind of, well, let's go some stock audio to wrap up the show.
You are listening to GN Radio UK.
You're listening to
Dr. Martin on UK's finest, GN Radio.
The name is the Mixin Dixon. You tune in, and you know this, man.
Okay. And so my time is actually up. I want to thank all of you who made it a time to listen to this particular interview, and those who follow the Dr. Morton Show and all the social media handles. And I want to thank Big Joe, my producer, who is behind the technical production of the Dr. Morton Show, right from the breakfast show, the interviews, the host, and all of that. Okay, so I can see my friend George. George says, Doc, I'm watching you live. Well, thank you very much, George. I bet very soon I had to bring you to the show yourself.
Dr. Morton has great stuff to offer. Never miss out on him. This is Felix van der Palen.
Hey, everybody. Hi, my name is Jan Pafankra. I'm a sports journalist, but I love music. And my number one choice is Dr. Morton. Keep it locked right here with Doc.
Oh, Dr. Morton, you are one of the greatest guys I have met. One of the really nice guys on the radio, one of the nicest guys meeting at events. What more can I say? Nobody could get no finer.
This is GN Radio with my man, Dr. Martin. The name is the Mixin Dixon, Kofi Dixon. And you know this, man. I'm tuned in. You're listening to
Dr. Martin on UK's finest, GN Radio.
The name is the Mixin Dixon. You tune in. And you know this, man.
One time for your skin pain. The devil always want to see me in pain, but the blessing will drive you insane. Who crossing your rap as a due lane? Or surround up on the one in the shady team. My brother on the day, they was a laptop. Yeah, they make a home, so in the film. I feel with them, I can last